Sabaddharudayastasmin arbhake kalabhashini nirikshamanastallila mumude jarato bhrasham. Sabaddharudayas arbhake. So arbhak means little child. This Narayan is his name, 10th son, and he is attached. Baddharudaya. He's very much attached to his son and his kalabhashini, his broken language. He has just now started speaking. Daddy, Daddy, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Some children, our devotees try to train so that they will say the name of Prabhupada. So children say, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. So parents like, my son is saying the name of Prabhupada. It's nice. So what your children say, it's broken, but it is so pleasing. Nectar. When you kiss them, kiss their cheeks, their hair, you feel like eating them. You like so much. You wish you were put them inside the heart, making part of you. Atmavat sarvabhutesh. So kalabhashini. This happens all over every child. And the same thing was going on when Krishna was a little child. Yashoda and Rohini, they were in ecstasy. Nirikshamanas tallilam. And all activities of little baby were like a lila, that child's lila. And the father and mother sitting, talking of glorifying the child or his activities. Every move that child makes is talked about, watched. Mumude jarato bhrasham. This old man was enjoying all this. He always took care of the child and enjoyed child's activities. Since the old man was very attached to the child, he enjoyed the child's activities. And because child's name was Narayan, the old man always chanted the holy name of Narayan. Although he was referring to the small child and not to original Narayan, the name Narayan is so powerful that even by chanting his son's name, he was becoming purified. That's nice. Tasmat kenapi upayena manaha Krishna nishevayet. Somehow get attracted to Krishna. So it is customary in Hindu society for parents to give their children names like Krishna Das, Govinda Das, Narayan Das, Vrindavan Das. But now that is changing. Parents are giving all sorts of meaningless names. In India also, I don't know about the West, how many names are spiritual names in the West, or some meaning there. In India, the children are named Tinku, Pinku, Pinku. Has no meaning. The other one is Tinku, Tinku, Pinku, Chinku. The sound has no meaning whatsoever. So they end up giving all these names. On the contrary, I was in Mexico long time ago. It must be 15 years ago. And we're checking in our luggage. And the lady working at the check-in counter, now when she noticed that we are Hare Krishnas dressed in saffron, she walked up to us and said, "Oh, are you Hare Krishna devotees?" So we, yes. I think she wasn't even a member of the congregation. But she said, my husband had bought one of your books, must be Krishna book. And she said, now we have named our daughter Devaki. Our daughter's name is Devaki. Now she had little or no connection with Hare Krishna movement, but they bought a book, and by reading Krishna book, they liked this name. When they had a child, they said, so my daughter's name is Devaki. So that's a good fortune to have. I heard when George Harrison departed a few years ago, there were talks. Someone had proposed to Prabhupada, "Prabhupada, why didn't you change his chanting or give him a name? George shouldn't be given a name." Prabhupada, he already has a spiritual name. He is Hari's son, Harrison. He's Hari's son already. So having spiritual names is, you don't have to go, without going out of your way, you end up chanting the names. But yeah, most of the names in India, a lot of names are still spiritual names. My father's name was Bhagavan. That is still in my passport. My father's name is Bhagavan. I'm son of Bhagavan. And he gave me name Raghunath. That was my so-called Karmi name, Raghunath. And Prabhupada changed that to Lokanath. So it is customary in Hindu society for parents to give their children names like Krishnadas, Govindas, Narayan Das. And also when they are initiated. So now we have thousands and thousands of devotees with the spiritual names. And we get to address each other. And then what to speak of the newly born babies. They all have spiritual names. With great pride, all the parents give their children spiritual names. Janavi or so many nice names. Brajamandal Parikrama from Czech Republic. He has a son. He just came back from Brajamandal Parikrama and then he had a son. So he decided to give his son name Brajamandal Parikrama Das. Varnashram Das is sitting near that pillar. He is a president of our Czech Republic farm. He has come with his daughter Janavi and son Brajamandal Parikrama Das. Sa evam vartamano gyo mrityukalo upasthite. So time has come. Evam, like this few times it said, evam, like this. He was kind of wasting his life. And agyam, this fool, just losing his valuable human birth. But the time had come. Mrityukala upasthite. The death arrived. I'm here and knocking at the door. No more. So, Matim chakara tanaye bale narayana avhaye. And because, so Mrityukala upasthite means he is kind of seeing the Yamadutas, messengers of Yamaraj, approaching him. And at that moment, he even further concentrated his mind on Tanaye, unto his son Narayan, and addressed him. When the time of death arrived for the foolish Ajamil, he began thinking exclusively of his son Narayan. Prabhupada writes, therefore, although contaminated Ajamil was calling for his son, by concentrating his mind on the holy name of Narayan, he remembered Narayan he had very faithfully worshipped in his youth. Just see, he had been worshipping. That will come up, as we mentioned, 2 places. There's a history. So he had been worshipping while he was young. And that must be the reason. At least he ended up naming his son Narayan because he used to worship Narayan. And as he is now chanting the name, addressing his son, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan that he used to worship has been remembered by him. In this regard, Srila Sridhar Swami writes, commentary, according to the Bhakti Siddhant, it is to be analyzed that because Ajamil constantly chanted his son's name Narayan, he was elevated to the platform of bhakti, although he did not know it. That Ajamil was not realizing that he was becoming bhakta, but yes, he was, Sridhar Swami states. He had been chanting Narayan, 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 and he was elevating himself, although he was not aware of it. Ajamil wasn't aware. This is understanding of Sridhar Swami. It is number 1. When it comes to the commentaries, Sridhar Swami, he is the Swami. They all bow down before him. All other Swamis, all other Acharyas, they respect Sridhar Swami so much and his commentary, which is one of the oldest commentaries also. He was one of the first ones to write the commentary. Okay, now the description of what he was seeing. Earlier verse said, Mrityukala upasthite. So now here they are. Sapasha hastan strin drishtva purushan ati darunan. He saw 3 people, 3 persons. Pasha hastan. Hasta, their hat, hands, had ropes. Pash. Asha, pash, shatair, pash. They were holding ropes. They had ropes in the hands, and there were 3 of them. And ati darunan. They looked very creating fear. Fearful features they had. Vakratundan urdhvaromnaha. Tunda, mouth, Vakra, like that. Vakra. Face is turning Vakra. Here, there, teeth sticking out. And Urdhvaromna, the hair were standing on their hands. Hair were standing on end. They were fired up. Not relaxed, but very intense people. Their hair was standing. And Atmanam Netumagatam. And he was convinced, oh, there they are. They are here too. Take me away. Netumagatam. Duram Kridana Kasaktam Putram Narayana Bhayam. So nearby there, Narayan was playing, and as he was attached to his son, he addressed his son. How? Plaviteina, tearful eyes, Swarena Vuchai, loudly, Narayan! Narayan! Loud. Ajuhava, address. Akulendriya, helpless as he was, he addressed his son. Ajuhava. When Sukadeva Goswami was leaving home, Vyasadeva was following him. He says, Ajuhava. Putreti tanamayataya. Putra! Putra! And that was addressing. Putreti tanamayataya. Ajuhava. He addressed his son. Srila Vyasadeva did. Says only trees responded. Son did not respond. Only trees responded, meaning he said Narayan, or he said Putra, and the trees said Putra. Echoing was there. And then the trees also started preaching to Srila Vyasadeva, addressing to Srila Vyasadeva. Come on. Even we are not attached to our offsprings, our creation. People just come and take the fruits away. We don't run after them. Look, you are running after your son. This is part of the commentary. Acharya's comment. This verse is there in the beginning of the Bhagavatam. How Sukadeva Goswami, as soon as he took birth, he started running to the forest. Yam prabrajantam anupeitam apeta kratyam. No purificatory process, nothing he has undergone, no samskaras. He took birth and started running to the forest. And Vyasadeva was running after. Putreti tanamayataya. Tarvo bhinedus. Only taru, the trees echoed. Tam sarva bhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. And Suta Goswami said, unto such muni, that even all the entities, they understood the feelings of Sukadeva Goswami. Even trees understood the feelings. Or in the hearts of trees he is residing, or he understands. Tam sarva bhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. I offer my most humble obeisances unto such Sukadeva Goswami, says Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami is offering his pranam to his spiritual master. So there's also father and son, and father is running after Sukadeva Goswami and trying to call. Ajuhava, that word is here. Ajuhava. A person who performs sinful activities performs them with his body, mind and words. Therefore, 3 order carriers from Yamaraj came to take Ajamila to Yamaraj as a board. Why 3? The 3 of them had come. 3 Yamadutas. Because explanation is given here. Because everyone commits sinful activities. We have gone through this morning. There's a verse. Ukta parni vihi. Ukta words, pani, hands, and mana. Mana ukta parni vihi. By mind you commit sin. By words you commit sin. By physical action you commit sin. 3 ways you commit sin. Hence, there were 3 messengers. And why 4? How many messengers of Vishnu have come? 4. Because he chanted name Narayan, and Narayan has 4 letters. He said, Na, 1 messenger came. Ra, another one came. Ya, 3rd one came. Na, Narayana. This is also from Acharyas. They say 4. And how many will come to us how many will come? 2. Because we chant Hare Krishna. Only 16? 32. It took 2 minutes. You chant now. Nishamya mriyamanasya mukhato hari kirtanam bharaturnama maharaja parshadaha sahasapatan. Nishamya means hearing. Mriyamanasya mukhataha hari kirtanam. Hari kirtan was heard coming from the mouth of Mriyamanasya, one who is about to die. Who is that? Ajamil, who is about to die, but he chanted Hari Kirtan. Bharatu Nama. Vishnudutas said, hey, someone is chanting name of our Bharata, is Swami, is Narayan, our boss. Someone is chanting the name of our Lord. Hey, don't you hear? Yeah, I hear. Bharatu Nam. And when they heard that someone is chanting helplessly name of their Lord, Narayan or Vishnu, Parshadaha, meaning the associates, representatives of Vishnu, Sahasa Apatan. Suddenly, they also appeared. So 3 of them were already there, faces like that, with all kinds of faces and very scary personalities. And to that spot, Vishnudutas arrived. While chanting the name Narayan, Ajamil was actually thinking of his son. That chanting was sufficient to cleanse him of all sinful activities. As soon as Vishnudutas heard their master's name being chanted, they immediately came. In this regard, Srila Vijayadhvaj Tirtha remarks, another Acharya's commentary, Vijayadhvaj Tirtha comment is, Ajamil chanted the name of Narayan because of his excessive attachment to his son. Nevertheless, because of his past good fortune in having rendered devotional service to Narayan, he apparently chanted the holy name in full devotional service without offenses. So Acharyas are giving all the credit to Ajamil, or glorifying the holy name, or the potency of the holy name is upheld by their statements. Vikarashayanta Hridayat dasipati rajamilaha yamapreshan Vishnudutas varayama surojasa. So, Vikarashayantaha. So by the time the Vishnudutas arrived on the spot, the Yamadutas had already thrown the ropes and they started snatching, dragging Ajamil out of his body. Vikarashayantaha. From where? Antaha Hridayat. From the heart region, not from the feet they were dragging him, not hand, shoulder, back. They're expert, they know where the soul is sitting. So through the ropes, and they were antarhridayat, vikarashantaha. They were snatching, dragging him out where he was, in the heart region he was. Dasipati Ajamilaha. Oh, that fool, Dasipati, the husband of prostitute. Of course, he should be snatched by the Yamadutas. Who else? Yam Preshan Vishnuduta Varayama Surojasa. But then there come Vishnudutas and they forbade. Stop, what's going on here? They stopped this snatching thing. If they had not arrived, if they had come in another 30 seconds, they would be out of there. Soul out of the body, and they're heading towards. So they caught. Vishnudutas caught these Yamadutas in the middle of their act while they were snatching. A Vaishnava who has surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu is always protected by Lord Vishnu's order carriers. By speaking with resounding voices, yes, that part we did not. Ujasa. There's a powerful voice, commanding voice. They were demanding that they stop. It says Ujasa. So, by speaking with resounding voices, Vishnudutas threatened to punish Yamadutas if they continued trying to snatch Ajamil's soul from his heart. It's amazing. They want to punish. Will punish you. And they have, Vishnudutas have such power. Prabhupada, I think, elsewhere it says, Vishnudutas even could, or Vaishnavas could even punish the Yamadutas or even Yamaraj. They are that powerful. The materialistic scientists do not know where to find the soul within the body with their material instruments. But this verse clearly explains that the soul is within the core of heart, Hridaya. It is from the heart that the Yamadutas were extracting the soul of Ajamila. It's very clear. Prabhupada is taking advantage of this and pointing out the place where the soul is sitting. Another piece of information. During transmigration from one body to next, soul is taken away by the order carriers of Yamaraj. That's one thing, okay? Then put into a particular type of hellish life, Narak, in order to become accustomed to the condition in which he will live in his next body. You get that? It's not transferred from body to immediate another body. Tatha dehantar prapti, that statement is there. Transmigration, or transferred from body to body. But in between, what happens? He is trained. He is made accustomed to live in the new body. And that is done. That training is done in a narak for a while and then put into the body. Vachu nishedhastante vaivashvata purasaraha keyuyam pratishedharo dharmarajasya shashanam. So, vachu nishedhastan. When order carriers of Yamaraj, vaivasvata purasara. Vaivasvat, Yamaraj is described here as Vaivasvata Purahasara. His son of sun, his son of sun god, Yamaraj is. So when they forbid, Vishnudutas had forbidden, then the Yamadutas say, Ke yam? I mean, who are you? Pratishedharo dharmarajasya shashanam. Who are you to forbid us or act against the shashan, the rule of Yamaraj? We are Yamaraja's people, and we are abiding by the laws, the rules. So why are you stopping us? Why are you opposing us? When forbidden to touch Ajamil, the order carriers of Yamaraj were surprised because they had never been hindered in execution of their duty by anyone in the three worlds. This is the first kind of experience. This had never happened. That they were in the middle of getting someone out of the body and someone coming and stopping them. First time. Say, who? Anna? This never happened. I mean, why are you stopping? And they asked few more questions. Kashyava. Who do you belong to? We are Yamaraja's representatives, but are you representing someone? Kashya. Va kutaha ayata. Where have you come from? Kasmadasya nished. And what for are you forbidding, opposing our activity, our duty? Ki devaha upadeva va yuyam kim siddha sattamaha. Are you some demigods? Rupadeva, some sub-demigods? Yuyam kim siddha sattamaha? Or are you some kind of pure devotees, perfect beings? I mean, who are you? Please identify, show your ID, okay? Where is your ID? Otherwise we will not take you seriously. Show your IDs. So they have asked questions. Kashya. Whose you are, where are you come from, and why are you stopping? Are you this demigod or this or that? Prabhupada writes, they knew that a Siddha Sattama is above the demigods and sub-demigods, and indeed above all the living entities within this material world. Yamadutas therefore inquired why the Vishnudutas were present where a sinful man was going to die. They were not able to understand. I mean, you look someone special, clean, maybe you are Devata, Upadevata, Siddha Sattama. But this is a husband of a prostitute, very sinful person. And why are you here? It is very obvious that we should be just bringing him to Yamalok. There's nothing else. should happen to this person. So what brings you here, sirs? Prabhupada writes, Ajamil was not yet dead. Ajamil was simply in an unconscious state when argument was in progress between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas. The conclusion of the argument was to be a decision regarding who would claim soul of Ajamil, who would make the claim. This was, so he was not still dead, soul was still there, and now we heard the brief description how the Yamadutas looked like, and here is a description of how Vishnudutas looked like. Sarve Padma Palashakshaha. All the four personalities had their eyes, big, lotus-like eyes. They had Pita Kaushe Yavasasaha, and they had golden yellow garments. Kiritaha, crowns. Kundalinaha, and earrings. Lasat Pushkaramalinaha. They had garlands of fresh lotuses around there. Next. Sarvecha Nutna Vayasaha. And they're all young. All of them are very young looking. Sarve Charu Chaturbhujaha. They all, four of them had 4 hands each. And they were Charu. Bhakti Charu. It's nice. Beautiful. Beautiful hands they had. 4 hands each of those Vishnudutas. And they were carrying Dhanur, Nishanga, Asi, Gada, Shankha, Chakrambuja, Sriyaha. And their hands were decorated with the bow and then the arrows. Even they had Asi, the sword, Gada, the club, Shankha, Kamsha also, Chakra, disc, Ambuj, lotus. These are different symbols and weapons they were holding. And Disho Vitimira Lokaha Kurvantaha Svena Tejasa. And they were so effulgent, so brilliant, that on all direction, Timira, the darkness, all finished, vanquished, dissipated, all the darkness. This is also mentioned. Their beauty and personality and their clothing and ornaments and weapons. This is also described by Yamadutas are saying, oh, you have all this, look at your eyes, look at all this, weapons. But then, it just doesn't make sense. You are beautiful people and powerful. Kimartham dharma palasya kinkara na nishedata. We are kinkara. We are the servants of Dharmapal, Dharmaraj, and you are opposing us. This doesn't make sense. I mean, you seem to be nice people, very polite also. But why should you be stopping us? Before even being introduced to a foreigner, one becomes acquainted with him through his dress, bodily features and behavior, and can thus understand his position. Therefore, Yamadutas saw the Vishnudutas for the first time. They were surprised. They said, your beautiful features, by your beautiful features, you appear to be very exalted gentlemen, and you have such a celestial power that you have dissipated the darkness of this material world by your effulgence. Why then should you endeavor to stop us from executing our duty? This is beyond their understanding. And now Sukadeva Goswami comments, and then Vishnudutas will take over. They'll talk. Now, so far, only Yamadutas had been talking. Shuka Uvaj. Ityukte Yamadutais Vasudevoktakarinaha Tan Pratyuchuhu Prahashedam Megha Nirhardaya Gira. So, Ityukte Yamadute. So, Vishnudutas had been hearing Yamadutas speak so far. Now, Vasudeva Uktakarinaha. See how they are described as Vishnudutas are described as Vasudeva Ukta Karinaha. Means, they always, Ukta means said. Whatever Vasudeva says, Karinaha, they're ready to do it. Yes, sir, they're yes men of Vasudeva or Vishnu. So they're described as Vasudeva Ukta Karinaha. In other words, Kinkaraha. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram. Kinkaram meaning, what could I do? Kimkara. Nice servant, obedient servant. Kimkar. What could I do? And if it's a lady, what would the lady call? Kinkari. Lady is Kinkari, gentleman is Kinkar. Gopis are Kinkaris and Gopas are Kinkaras. Kinkar, Kinkari. They are ever ready. Whatever Krishna says, they are, yes. And they are all, I'm finished with that. What more could I do? Do this. Done. More. Do this. Okay, finished. More. So like that. Always very eager, anxious. Kimkar. So the Vishnudutas, Tan Pratyuchuhu. Prati Uchuhu. Now they are addressing Yamadutas. And how are they doing? Prahasya. With a smile on their face. And Megha Nirhardaya Gira. And their voice is a deep, like a rumbling of a cloud. So not only they are looking or they are dressed like the Lord, yellow garments and the four hands and different symbols, but their voice is also elsewhere when how Krishna speaks, Megha Gambhiraya Vacha. Like a deep rumbling sound. That's a deep voice. Lord has different deep things. 3 deep things. His navel is deep, His intelligence is deep, and His voice is deep. 3 things. There are 32 symptoms of a great personality. This is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And 3 things are deep. So one of them is voice. Voice is deep. Lord's voice is very deep. And different things are short, like that it goes on. His neck is short. His thighs are short. His genitals are short. Different things are broad. His chest is broad. His forehead is broad. He has a big hips like ladies. But his, like a lion. His waist is like a thin, like a lion. Different things are fine. His hair are fine. His skin is fine. Different things are fine. Then 7 parts of his body are reddish or pinkish. His eyes, palms, soles, lips, navel, nostrils. That list? Not sure. Inside is, and different parts of his body are lotus-like hands. This part is like a lotus. Lotus because it also, color of the lotus also smells like a lotus. You smell Krishna's hand and it smells like a lotus petal or flower. Krishna's feet are pinkish like lotus, soft like a lotus. Eyes, so like that, different parts. So when you put this list together, it's 32 different things. Deep, short, fine, broad, lotus-like, pinkish. So this is 32 different symptoms. So one of them is voice. A couple of things not found. They're only found in the Lord. One is Srivatsa, mark of Srivatsa on his chest. It's a golden line on his chest. Lakshmi is residing there on the chest. And Kaustubha, jewel. When the churning of the ocean was done by the demigods and the demons, 14 different ratnas, jewels emerged. Different items emerged. One of them was this Kaustubha money. And this was given to Vishnu. Up until that time, there was a great difficulty in knowing who is who. They all dressed like Vishnu. Who is Vishnu? Who is Vishnudutas? But then once Lord had his Kaustubha money, then it became very obvious. Only one person has that Kaustuba money, no one else has it. So others are holding this human chakra, gada and all that, but no one has Kaustuba, only Lord has it. Then it became easy. From that time onwards, it became easy to recognize who amongst this is the Lord. Oh, just find out who is wearing Kaustuba, jewel, money. When there's a rasa dance in Vrindavan, the demigods, there's demigods. They're coming from the universe. I would imagine there's a whole society there of people and personalities and families, but they all have four-handed forearms and opulence like Lord. So it is not only men are there. So there are both complete male, female. So-called male, female, because only male, of course, is Purusha, is the Lord, in that sense. Everyone else is Prakriti. But in the paintings we see others also. But they are not expansions of the Lord. They are just jivas, living entities. So they are not entitled to have a Lakshmi on their side. It's not possible. They can't deal with it. They would only worship if there was a Lakshmi next to it. They are Anu Atmas. Lord is Vibhu Atma. Lord expands, and there are different incarnations of the Lord. Krishna expands in different incarnations. And Radharani expands, and there are Lakshmis. Gopis come from Radharani, and then queens of Dwarka. There are further expansions of Alhadani, Shakti, pleasure, potency. And then the Lakshmis in different spiritual planets. There are further expansions of. So Krishna is expanding, Radha is expanding. And then there's a corresponding. But these are all Supreme Personality of Godhead and Supreme Pleasure, potency. The living entities are Mamai Vansho, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. There's another category altogether. I have just one more thing here, and then we just can get to stop. I need a few more minutes, okay? Yamadutas were surprised to see that Vishnudutas, although polite, were hindering the rule of Yamaraj. Simply Vishnudutas were also surprised that Yamadutas, although claiming to be servants of Yamaraj, supreme judge of religious principles, were unaware of the principles of religious action. So both parties were. Thus the Vishnudutas smiled, thinking, what is this nonsense they are speaking? If they are actually servants of Yamaraj, they should know that Ajamil is not a suitable candidate for them to carry off. If you're actually servants. Actually, we could stop here.